About 40 metres on Van der Merwe. Now this race is really on. Clever driving there by Morganwood. And Van der Merwe gets close up to his tail as he breaks the hole for the first time. Aberdeen's next in Willie Hepburn, Terry Moss in 5th position. As they pour it on, as they go across the road there, the first of the BMWs right in their tail. It's Charles Van der Merwe and Terry Moss, and Chris Aberdeen is on his turn. Willie Hepburn thundering into Castrol. Onto the brakes for Castrol. Now they get the tails out. The four-wheel drive gets around there a lot easier than these two-wheel driven cars like the Ford and the big Opel V8. As they head down through Castrol Corner down to Duckham's Dip. Now they're on to the right hander there. The car just wants to go off the road as they go against the camber. It's Charles Van der Merwe's lost out by about 30-40 metres as they come up to the Sabat Street. It's Van der Merwe. Then it's the Bozel Audi of Chris Aberdeen, holding that car close in there as they come out of Sabat. Terry Moss is right up there with them. And Morganwood sounding like a V12 Ferrari as he goes away from you. It sounds like a Grand Prix motorcycle coming at you. And here is Willie Hepburn making a comeback. He's gone into third. Hepburn's gone into third, and that V8 has got oodles of acceleration. You'll see now if those tyres start to grip out of the scorn. He just had them flown in from America. Look at that acceleration. It's like a dragster coming out of Stanek. And Willie Hepburn is flying as he comes out there, and he's after Van der Merwe. Willie Hepburn on that Sabat Opel is flying after Van der Merwe. They're a lot closer this time to Ben Morganwood with the flames coming out of that Waterford Mazda. It's a unique motor car. It's a 3-rotor motor. We haven't seen too many of those around. There's only one in the country, and Ben Morganwood from Randfontein is in it. And here comes Charles Van der Merwe. He's won the first 4 races this year at the 2 meetings. He wants to do a hat-trick at this meeting and win both races here today. And they're up against a very skillful, race-crafted, experienced driver here in Charles Van der Merwe. Flames coming out of the side of that motor car. It's a turbocharged 2-litre Ford engine, a 4-valve head on it, very sophisticated. Who we got coming down here? Somebody's going to lose it here in Stanek. There we've got it as one of the D-class cars, the little 1400cc cars. And there comes the leader. It's Morganwood, and it's Charles Van der Merwe, and it's Willie Hepburn now roaring down that straight. He's got legs down there like you cannot believe. It's a long straight down, then Willie Hepburn is trying to close. And then the first of the Audis, Terry Moss has gone to 4th position, and Chris Aberdeen, the Springbok, is in 5th position. Watch that 4-wheel drive, just gets out the corner, they just turn it on itself, put foot, and that car grips all the way out of that corner and sends them, hurtles them up the road. It's Morganwood now. He's under a second ahead, and Willie Hepburn's starting to close on up. Willie Hepburn, watch him stake under braking. Is he leaving it too late? He's not. Van der Merwe is well in control in this race. Has Morganwood overdone his tyres? He gave them all he outwitted them at the start of this race. He went away the magic start, and he's got himself 40 metres as a bonus in this race.
As daar ooit 'n taktiese wedren was, dan is dit hierdie ene. Dit is die stryd van die bande. Die voorlopers is hier besig om mekaar te probeer uitoorlê. Gaan jy so vinnig as jy kan aan die begin van die wedren jaag om vir jouself 'n gaping oop te bou, of gaan jy bietjie terughou en kyk of jy jou teenstander teen die einde van die wedren kan inhaal? Ben Morganwood, soos Radwig gesê het, 'n skitterende taktiese wegspring gehad daar toe hulle deur die kinkel in die hoofvuilvak afgekom het. Het hy voet in die hoek weggeberre en weggetrek en al die ander agtergelaat en weggetrek van hulle, en nou laat hy vir hulle die taak om hom in te haal in die res van hierdie wedren wat voor lê. Daar is nog so 7,5 rondes, bietjie minder is dit vir Chris Aberdeen en Terry Moss wat sake uitspook om die 4de en die 5de posisie in Aberdeen. Daar by Terry Moss verbykom, en ek dink dit is presies wat hulle besig om te doen. Stadiger te ry in die begin van die wedren, hulle bande te bespaar so ver as wat hulle kan. Gaping tussen Sarah van der Merwe en Ben Morganwood is 0,9 van 'n sekonde. 19 van 'n sekonde tussen die twee, met nog 7 rondes wat oorbly. Hier is die stryd tussen die twee spanmaats. Dis Chris Aberdeen in die rooi Bozel Audi Quattro Turbo, en in die swart Minolta motor is dit Terry Moss van Port Elizabeth. Hulle spook sake uit om die 4de posisie. Willie Hepburn het vir Sarah van der Merwe in die oog as hulle deur die Castrol draai die rigting van Duckham's Dip gaan. Dan is dit weer Duckham's met Ben Morganwood wat nog steeds die voortou wat hy gehad het van die begin af bly behou. Hier is hulle deur sy draai. Sarah van der Merwe kom nader. Hy is 'n baie ervare renjaer. So ook Ben Morganwood, so ook Willie Hepburn. Dis die Autofit Mazda 3-rotor engine motor van Ben Morganwood wat voorloop die Sasol Ford Sapphire van der Merwe wat in die tweede plek is, 1.3 sekondes tussen hulle. In die derde plek is Sabat Opel rekord van Willie Hepburn. Oh, dit is die motor van Erik Varkel wat daar in Sabat draai van die waan af is. Ongelukkig as hy daar in die sand geberg. Nog 6 rondes wat oorbly. Die posisies bly nog steeds dieselfde. Die skare is op hulle voete. Gaan Van der Merwe daar slag vir Ben Morgenrood in te haal. Gaan Willie Hepburn daar slag om Sarel van der Merwe in te haal. Dis die stryd om die eerste plek. Hierdie 3 manne is besig om al nader en nader aan mekaar te kom en ook al nader en nader aan die agterste motors. Ons het die 2 klas D Volkswagen Golfs van Richard Sorensen en Koen Groblaar wat agter is en Ben Morgenrood gaan hulle binnekort inhaal en dan kan die prentjie geheel en al verander. Dan af wat die stadige verkeer gaan doen of hulle die voorlopers gaan ophou of nie. En wie van die voorlopers gaan die slimste wees en die beste lyn kry om verby die stadiger motors te kom. Daar is die Sorensen motorkie klas D Volkswagen Golf. En Ben Morgenrood deur sy bedraai. Sorensen bly ver uit die pad uit van hierdie groot manne. Dis Morgenrood, dis Van der Merwe, dis Hepburn. En in standing draai kan daar 'n probleem wees vir Hepburn. As Sorensen nie betyds van die pad aftrek nie. Ja, hy maak dit daarom voor standing draai. En die manne probeer mekaar nog steeds uitoorlê. Die bande gaan 'n geweldige belangrike rol speel aan die einde van hierdie wedren. Die laaste paar rondes. Daar is nog 5 rondes oor aan die einde van hierdie wedren. Ben Morgenrood is besig om weg te trek van Sarel van der Merwe af.
Yes, and it certainly looks like Ben Morgenrood at this stage. He's able to keep away from Sarel, but Sarel's driving as hard as he can. Experienced man, and he's not going to let Ben get away. And we're going to see some exciting racing. 5 laps to go. And that's the Sabat Opel record of Willie Hepburn in 3rd place now. And he's after Sarel. He's quicker down the back straight and down the main straight. And he seems to close up, but through the tighter sections, he's not quite as quick as the Sapphire, the Cecil Sapphire. The gap now between Ben Morgenrood and Sarel van der Merwe is 2.3 seconds. So Morgenrood getting away. As you see, Hepburn just clipped the curve going through the kink down towards Duckens, and he's trying very hard because he knows he's quicker than Sarel down the back straight. This big Cecil Sapphire comes out and he's losing touch. He certainly sees Ben Morgenrood getting away down the back straight, and the Order Fit Mazda certainly going exceptionally well. And what a great bit of tactical driving at the start from Ben Morgenrood. And he knows that Sarel's behind him. He can't afford to make half a mistake as he comes down into Stanley Corner. You see Sarel van der Merwe in the Cecil Sapphire, Ford Sapphire. Through Stanley Corner he comes. He turns on the power. See the tail want to kick out, and he knows he's got Willie Hepburn not too far behind. Willie Hepburn out for the first time on wider rubber as he comes down past the pits, and that gap appears to be closing. But it's still 2.3 seconds between Ben Morgenrood in front in the Order Fit Mazda and the Cecil Sapphire, Ford Sapphire of Sarel van der Merwe. Through Holzhoek he goes. There's Willie Hepburn in the Sabat Opel record. Down the Jabir Straight, down towards Castrol Corner. And Sarel van der Merwe knows he's in a dice. He's got all he can see is the Order Fit Mazda in front of him, and that's what he's after. He's not too concerned about Willie Hepburn at this stage. He knows Willie's there. He can't afford to make a mistake, but he's after the Order Fit Mazda, the 3-rotor Mazda of Ben Morgenrood. That's Sarel van der Merwe in the Sapphire, Ford Sapphire. Going through, here we see Morgenrood coming out of Duckham's up towards Sabat Sweep. Beautifully prepared Mazda, 3-rotor Mazda, certainly going exceptionally well and being brilliantly driven here today by Ben Morgenrood. Certainly with the smoother circuit, he seems to be able to get his power down better. And here's the Cecil Sapphire. Willie Hepburn not too far behind in the Sabat Opel record. They head down towards Stanek once again. And then we see Chris Aberdeen and Terry Moss in the other Audi has been dropped a little bit behind. He's obviously got some sort of problem. He was ahead of Chris Aberdeen. Now he's dropping behind, but that's Willie Hepburn out of Stanek corner. You could see, just out of picture, you could see Sarel van der Merwe just coming out of Stanek corner. There's Sarel. There you go. There's Ben Morgenrood. Sarel. And the gap now is still 2.3 seconds. So Ben Morgenrood is maintaining that gap between himself and Sarel van der Merwe. 3 laps to go. See Chris Aberdeen in the Audi, the Bosel Audi, coming down into Holzhoek. He said he was going to save his tyres for the last. Let's see what he can do in these last few laps. See if he can make up on the man in front. That's Willie Hepburn just ahead of him. There's Willie Hepburn now. And Sarel van der Merwe. You see Willie Hepburn getting closer to the Ford Sapphire of Sarel van der Merwe. Down to that's up to 3.1 seconds. Ben Morgenrood is pulling that gap. It's now 3.1 seconds between himself and Sarel van der Merwe. And Sarel sees Willie Hepburn getting closer in the Sabat Opel record. Certainly getting a lot closer. But yeah, and you see there's the gap. They can't be more than 30, 40 metres in the now as they're going to Sabat Sweep. And this is where Willie Hepburn's so quick down the back straight. That big V8 Opel record, the Sabat Opel record, powers down the back straight. All he can see and all he wants to do is get to terms with Sarel van der Merwe. And that's Willie Hepburn down there coming down towards Stanek. Who's going to be later on the brakes? See Willie closing up all the time. Willie Hepburn closing up on Sarel all the time. Moving into Stanek corner. What happens when they come out? Oh, we see here comes one of the, it looks like Dion Joubert coming into the pits. It's on spin. No, it's Tony Viana coming into the pits. Watch this. Watch comes Willie Hepburn, and he's getting close. He's right there with Cyril van der Merwe. 2 laps to go, and it's the Cecil Ford Sapphire in second place, but it's the Sabat Opel record of Cyril van der Merwe trying to get through on the outside as they come through Holzhoek. Just watch him. Watch the power of this big V8. He could perhaps get Cyril on the acceleration up towards Gaston Quarter. Cyril's going to drive defensively. He's going to maintain the negative line, the defensive line on the inside through Castrol, through the kink, down towards Duckham. So this is tight. You see Willie sticking his nose in. Willie's certainly sticking his nose in. He's trying to get closer. Down into Duckhams they go. And this could be Willie's going to have to be right behind Cyril when they come out of the standing sweep, the next corner, to try and blast past him down the back straight. He knows he's quicker. And there's the Bozel already also getting closer. And then we see Ben Morgan going away. And here comes the Sasol Sapphire, the Ford Sapphire. And it's the Sabat Opel record of Willie Hepburn. And can Willie Hepburn get past Cyril? He's going for the outside line. Cyril's on the defensive line. It's not the right line for Willie. Cyril's very clever indeed. Certainly driving exceptionally intelligently, and he's holding Willie Hepburn out. Through Stanek they come. There's nothing in it as they blast out past the pits, up towards the kink and past the pits. And here they come. And it's Willie Hepburn got to go for the outside. He's been forced to the outside line. It's not the quickest line, and he's stuck right in now. What's he going to do? He's trying a bit of slow traffic in the way. They're coming up on their final lap, Roger.
And can you believe it? And this slowing down, he's been opening the gap all the time. It's Morganroot to 5.5 seconds. Willie's got right onto Van der Merwe's tail, and this has allowed Aberdeen to get right on their tails as well. There's Terry Moss coming up the road too. And Willie Hepburn's got the acceleration out the corners as he got the road holding. This big, mighty Sabat Opel is on a chase at the moment. And this feast of motorsport continues with the Motorcycle Grand Prix tomorrow morning on 1 and the Brazilian Grand Prix tomorrow night on TV1 as well. And it's all tyres in this race. What a feast of motorsport we're having. He's going to win it, is Morganroot. Cyril in the Sasol Ford Sapphire won at Killarney. He won down in Port Elizabeth. He's hoping for his hat-trick today, but that's out the window. He's now got other problems, and one of them is this big red and white big Opel of Willie Hepburn getting past Eric Warkel. He'd been off the circuit earlier, and he's going to try and get his Morganroot's going to go. He's coming through there 5.5 seconds ahead, and here come the others. It's Cyril going to get it by clever driving, and Aberdeen's looking for a place through. These three are going for second spot. Ben Morganroot in the Orderford Mazda is going to win it. And look at the acceleration of that big Opel. No, the four-wheel drive, and Morganroot gets it. Morganroot comes and gets the flag. Who's going to get second? As they come and Hepburn's spinning across. Is he going to do it? If he doesn't get it by just the width of the bumper, the aerofoil in the front there, Cyril van der Merwe gets through in second place with everybody around us screaming their heads off there. Cyril van der Merwe second, the big Opel of Willie Hepburn in third position, and Hepburn's going to be seen at stock car racing at Goodwood tonight. And if that's the type of excitement he's going to provide, you've got to get there to see this oval track racing tonight. Chris Aberdeen came through in fourth position, just as he said in his interview. He's hoping to get those tyres warmed up, and he's going to come on strong, and we didn't realise just how strong. In fifth spot was Terry Moss from Port Elizabeth in the Minolta, the Audi, and then in Class B it was number 16. It was Tony Viana coming through and winning that class ahead of Eric Warkel. He had an off. Peter Lance won Class C, and Sorensen